Whenever I had the daily thing, I thought to myself, you know what I think would be really cool to do? Where it would be, we'd have basically a DJ, and we'd literally be like a 24-hour streaming channel.
Awesome.
Hence TV on Phoenix.
Right.
Where it would be literally turn on and there's somebody playing some game all the time.
Right.
That is an absolute maximum ideal goal.
So live streaming, or sort of like what IGN does where it pumps out a video like every 4 to 6 hours?
I was thinking we'd literally be, you know, live all the time.
Interesting.
Which is ridiculous, and we're nowhere close to that. And none of us have any streaming experience. Or not much streaming experience. But
at least with your internet, you can stream. So that's one thing that's a positive towards that goal.
It's the only way I can record my PlayStation 4.
Yep.
I have to stream and then, you know, make my stream really hard to find and then screen cap.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that'd be really cool. And if we weren't live, we could, you know, do like a day delay where there's people editing it as it goes on. But
and then eventually, I'm guessing that, you know, you would like to hire other people, make it into sort of a network thing, like some of the other networks out there. Am I looking at it right?
I wouldn't say I want to be like a TGN or a broadband TV or even a machinima, but I would need to be like a TV online internet thing.
That's really cool.
Where people could just tune in and, oh, this person's on at this time, and you can watch them.
Yeah, he's on playing that game, come back in 4 hours, that other dude will be on there. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's an absolute, like, high-end, that would be the goal I would aspire to. I would not go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the ultimate goal would just be people knowing who I am, and it being like a gateway into a bigger career. I think that's the ultimatum right now.
I understand.
But before this year is over, I'm hoping to get amount to 500,000 views, and I want to say 2,500 subscribers. And those are really, I'm not going to lie, those are really, really big goals. But, you know, maybe.
I got faith in you.
Hey, thanks. I got the same with you and your network. I mean, like I said before when we started, it deserves a lot more attention than it's got.
It's appreciated, because I work way too hard at this.
Yeah, and I can actually relate to that as well. Not running a network, but just, you know, being a fellow person in YouTube gaming specifically, I should say, or entertainment areas. But, you know, there's millions of people out there, like I said, and each one's trying to be better than themselves. I think that's really what gets to me with the TGN Army. You know, maybe if they don't even check out your videos, they retweet them and stuff, and then everybody's there just to help out. So that's also why I started the shout-outs on Sunday, where I shout out like 5 channels, give a little bit of details on them, and then the links are in the description. So, you know, I want to help other people. I don't want to. I would like to be better than, you know, other ones, but you know, that's kind of a dilemma. I would like other people to grow up alongside me, I should say.
It's like, you know, I want to be the guy who gets all $1 million a year, but I'd kind of like for you to get a couple hundred.
Well, not exactly, but
figuratively, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking just from advertisements. PewDiePie gets like $1.5 million.
Yeah.
And that's just from advertisement, not from the TV show he's running, not from the commercials, and not from any of the companies that pay him to run the games. Yeah. So, but you know, that would be something that would be cool to go into. But I like to help other people, but with their channels and everything. And that's where I guess where the TGN Army really comes in. But it's so hard when you're trying to help so many people to help all of them out.
Yeah.
And do your own channel and do work and have life in school. So what I try to do is put specific days to specific people. So I'll go check out the videos and share them and stuff. So that's my thing on that.
Full-time job and full-time of this.
Yep, basically. And in theory, it shouldn't work, but it does, so I'm not going to argue with it.
Not to mention keeping Lady Phoenix happy. Which that's a thing all its own.
So are you married then, or?
No, not married. On the verge of being engaged, probably.
Awesome.
Which I can say because she doesn't watch anyway.
I'm gonna send it to her. This one episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, go ahead and factor that in. Full-time work, full-time this, and Lady Phoenix does not watch any of this.
Oh, do you think if she heard in one episode that you were going to get engaged, that she would start watching your videos?
No, probably not. I think she knows.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of stayed away from that. I was running a relationship. It didn't go well, so I should probably focus on, getting out of the teen years completely, and then I can go back to that stuff.
Right.
Yeah. It was not good. And it's hard enough, dealing with just, what the heck am I going to do in a few years, and just dealing with now.
Right.
But, yeah. But yeah, you just factor everything in, and it's just interesting.
And that doesn't even include the part where I'm having to keep 4 other people, giving me something every week.
Right, yeah, so it's not just yourself. You're not just forcing yourself. Can I use that? 'Cause sometimes you gotta force yourself to sit down and film. And even yourself, in my experience, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I have nothing for tomorrow. I got to force myself to sit down, film a 15-minute video, and then render it, and then compress it so I can upload it for the next day. But I could definitely see where you're coming from, where you got to check in. You're like, hey, you're gonna have something up for this, because we gotta keep this thing going.
Daily, we can't miss a day.
Right.
So I'm doing this like a week in advance. Hey, do you have this thing out? What's the status on it? It's uploading? Okay, cool, thanks. Good job.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's kind of what I talked about earlier with the whole Gamers Cove thing. I think there was 4 people who were running it, but none of them were really running it except for this one guy. And he is a video game developer, so he's got jobs. He has his own YouTube channel that has nothing to do with Gamers Cove, and he's trying to run it. So it was sad to see it go, but yeah, there's only so much that people can handle. And yeah, even somebody that can do a ton of things.
Yeah, as much as I like some of those other channels that we have, they do not get all the attention they need because there is no extra time for them.
Definitely, yeah. And that's really time. Time is the whole thing. Because you want to sit down, you want to film your best, you want to film quality and stuff, and not just, pump maybe 5 episodes out that are considerable, and then you, instead of just doing 1 or 2 that you put a lot of time into and everything.
Oh yeah. Even harder for me because I'm not the commentator.
Right.
So I have to find time with them to do it.
Right.
Or if it's me, I'm a freak. I can work all day. Would never
Same
be
here
good because I'm not that great.
Yep. Today, after we are done, I will have officially filmed for 10 hours straight.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I could film for 10 hours, but I couldn't commentate for nearly that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, after this, people look at it and they're like, oh, your part-time job or part of your job is you do YouTube videos. And how hard can that be? And it's like, you sit down for 10 hours in a chair, skip lunch, and talk for 10 hours straight,
and
you
be
come back and
entertaining
tell me.
all 10 hours.
Right, and not be drawling on or trying to stay awake, and then you tell me that it's easy to do.
And then you gotta edit.
Right, you gotta edit and render it, you gotta make sure you have room. Like right now, I hope that I haven't filled up my external hard drive, and I don't think I have, but there's no way to check because Fraps is super touchy. So there's all of those things in there.
That'd be not good with me.
No, I think that I got it all because I had 800 gig left or something on there.
Lord.
Well, external hard drives are 1.5 terabytes, so.
Yeah, I have an internal hard drive. I haven't splurged on an external one yet because I don't normally keep a lot of my stuff.
Right.
Because that would
what I do is
not keep it.
render, cut them into episodes and stuff. Then I delete the full ones.
Yeah.
See, when I'm done with this, when we're done with these 3 hours, the file's probably going to be. We're filming for 3 hours. It's going to be 600 to 800 gigabytes. Unfortunately, because film's that large. When I'm done, I do need something better. I'm not going to argue with that. But right now, it's the only thing that I know works. When I'm done, and I cut these into 12 episodes, they'll be each about a gig, and then I'll compress them, and they'll be about 800 megabytes. So the process is massive. I film, then I have to cut, then I have to render, and then I have to save, and then I have to compress. So to film a 15-minute episode takes about an hour and a half to get it, and then to upload it.
That is entirely true, and I know that way too well.
Definitely, yeah. And I know that you can definitely, probably relate to it, because everybody has their own way, but it all follows the same lines, basically. So, that's that.
Let's see, the fastest I think I could do something from a console. Let's see, if I did like a minute-long video, it could take, the minute of recording.
Right.
And if we did it live, which would be a little bit faster, we'd have to take an extra 30 seconds to synchronize everything.
Right.
The editing would take another 3-4 minutes. I can edit pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then that's already, 6 minutes for a 1-minute video?
Right, yeah.
The export's going to be another minute, and the upload's another minute. So basically, it's 10 minutes per minute.
Right. Yeah, my minimal videos end up being 15 minutes, and that's not counting the beginning trailer now for TGN. Then, it's a long process. And then, if you notice, I didn't even add the thumbnail thing in there, or the description or tags.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
In my case, I got to count scheduling.
Nice.
Because I got to, upload stuff and hide it for weeks at a time.
Right. So what do? You basically upload it and then have it as unlisted?
I do private with schedule. Because I can schedule things to come out at certain days at certain times.
Interesting.
Which comes in really handy, because it's easy to forget. Oh, did I upload that today?
Yeah.
What goes out today?
What I'll do is I'll either upload and have them as unlisted, so then I just list them on the day that I want it, or I'll have like a whole campaign or series filmed, and then it's like, well, if this week's not going to work, I have that. So, but lately I've been slacking on that, just not having time. So
it's nice to have a big backlog.
Definitely. And the one thing that you want to make sure that you never do in there is talk about recent things or dates, because people then know, like, oh, well, he filmed that like a year ago, and it's like, oh, what?
Yeah, don't take your B-reel to be recent.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I just finished Limbo yesterday, and then I release it like next year, and they're like, didn't you finish that in like February? Yeah. Like, I watched this one guy, and he's like, hey, I started this new series, and I'll watch it, and he's talking about finishing a series that he finished like a year ago, so he like pulled them up and was acting like it was a brand new series, and I'm like, what the heck?
I understand it, but
right, definitely.
you don't need to be too topical.
Right.
Unless you know what's going soon.
Right, definitely.
Like in my case, I specifically can schedule and release, Deadpool versus Abraham Lincoln on February 17th, because that's President's Day. I know what's going on that day.
That's entertaining. I love Deadpool. Super duper inappropriate and graphic game. Amazing. It's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played.
His comics are fantastic too.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's always been one of my favorites, but never has got the acknowledgement that he deserves.
Well, I don't know about that. Anyone who's anyone who's a comic book fan has read Deadpool and probably likes him. It's everyone on the mainstream versions that are not very good.
Well, basically, he's what I was going towards is he's not like huge like Batman. No, everyone knows that. Superman, you throw this out there, and then you're like Deadpool, and there's half a group that's like, yeah, and then there's another one who's like, who is that?
Deadpool?
Yeah, who's Deadpool? It's like if you say something like Ant-Man.
Ooh.
It's like, and that's a good one as well.
I wouldn't call him on Deadpool's level, but yeah, I get your point.
No, not adding those. No, Deadpool is he's something something different. So that gets into the whole. So would you say a big Marvel fan or?
I'm a good comic fan.
Yeah. Same here.
Like one of my favorite series is Chew, and that's not Marvel or DC.
Interesting. I've never even heard of that.
You should read it. It's fantastic.
What about did you read any of the Darkness series?
Darkest Nights?
No, Darkness.
The Darkness.
Yeah, The Darkness.
I didn't read it, but I beat the first game. It was
really
good.
That was a super good game, but it was really short.
Yeah, I started the second one, but I didn't ever get around to finishing it.
Yeah, the second one was even shorter than the first one.
Dang.
And I read those. I really like those comics. I like to read Witchblade, but again, those are near Dark Horse comics.
Yeah.
And you know, back then I used to read the X-Men Origins and stuff. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a long time since I've read a comic, I should say.
Yeah.
And I'd like to get back into that.
I've recently started doing like subscribing to ones on my tablet device who does not pay me any sponsorship money.
Right.
And so I've been able to keep up with some. I just finished one called Deathmatch, and that was really cool.
Awesome.
I wouldn't say necessarily that the comic itself was pretty good, but the concept is ridiculous. It's 32 superheroes and supervillains kill each other in a tournament. Go.
Nice.
And that's just a really cool thing to see, because I'm a tournament and league guy, so...
Definitely, that sounds pretty legit. Door is open. Hello.
So how's your game going?
It's going pretty good. I've lost track of how many levels I've completed. Pretty decent. I've only died one time.
I've crashed a lot of times.
How many, does yours have levels in it?
No, mine's just, I'm on free skate, so I'm just kind of, I've been skating around this entire time.
This whole time?
Yeah.
I guess I can relate to that. I've just been shooting things over and over this whole time. So.
I could Minecraft like that, and I can skate like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just something I can just kind of casually roam around, do different things.
And that's one thing that I can relate. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I am 21.
21. So, it's just kind of cool to see people that appreciate, Minecraft, and it's not, because there's a lot of people who are like, oh, that's a kid's game and stuff.
Minecraft is for kids because of the graphics. You don't understand gameplay.
It's awesome, okay?
The graphics are that way the game can be as large as it is. Correct.
And it is, depending on what you're doing, what mod you're doing, or anything, it can get super advanced.
You don't even need a special mod to do it. If you're familiar with the Let's Play Minecraft series from Achievement Hunter, that thing is ridiculous.
Definitely.
They do like sub-games inside of the game all for the same tower thing and with those 6 personalities all playing together. That's my favorite thing on YouTube.
Right.
And they're on the 360. There's no mods, there's no anything. It's just what they can build, what they can come up with.
Right. And it's been talked about a little bit. It was supposed to be released actually early last year, but I've been working on a humongous Minecraft map by myself.
Yeah.
And then I've also been writing a story for it on the side. And I'm hoping to, by next year, actually have it released for people to play. And what it is people started messing with time, going future, past, present, and messing around in the whole equation of time travel and everything. Yeah. And what happens is time is then flawed and teared, and the map is going to be called the Tear in Time. So you see like a medieval castle with like the Statue of Liberty sitting in the middle of it, and because that's eventually where the Statue of Liberty might be, because the castle gets sunk, and then the Statue of Liberty eventually is put there and stuff. So basically, you have to find different books and passages from time periods that tie history back together.
Sweet.
So that's something.
Game.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty cool. It's just taken a lot of time because I've had to write the story and build the map by myself.
So, if you watch our Minecraft creations, you'll see some ridiculous things that I've built. by myself.
Yeah.
Other things I built with people, but yeah, I know what you mean by building alone is a long process.
And currently, I can actually send you a picture after we're here finished, but I've been working on a Spanish man of war ship.
Wonderful.
And it's like 2,000 blocks by like 1,000.
That is huge.
The thing is massive, and it's all white like the Spanish wood back then was and everything.
Okay, I thought my Galaga thing was big. 2,000 by 1,000 is excessive.
And the masts are just huge by themselves. And that's just sitting there off of a dock, and I haven't even wrote how that fits into the story at all.
Wonderful.
So eventually, I'm going to build enough to make a trailer to maybe promote the map before it comes out, before next year.
Yeah.
And that's one project that I'm working on the side. And a couple of other, What the thing is you either need to find on YouTube to make it big. It's either three things. You hold on forever and hope to make it. Number two, you have a ton of money and you buy your way, which I don't agree with.
No, don't buy your way in, kids.
Right. Or number three, you make a viral video and it just goes viral. And it's not by your own doing. It just happens or it doesn't.
Yeah.
Usually that's the gateway because a ton of people subscribe and then they're like, hey, some of your other stuff is pretty good, and that's kind of a doorway into it. And that's in my opinion, of course. Those are the three ways that I really see it. And then the fourth one is basically what we're both doing. It's just hard work, slowly building up a small fan base, which grows larger, and it could take a long time. And that's basically my opinion on that.
I have no disagreement with any of that.
So, maybe someday a viral video or something, or I don't know. It's something.
Mm-hmm.